Okay, today in this flipped classroom video, I am going to show you how to graph an inequality. The symbols you use for an inequality are the greater than sign, the less than sign, the greater than or equal to sign, or the less than or equal to sign. Make sure you're taking all these notes in your notebook. You can stop at any time if you need to catch up. Okay, graphing inequalities. If you have a greater than or less than symbol, you're going to use an open circle. And if you have a greater than or equal to or a less than or equal to symbol, you're going to use a closed circle. So here's the first one. This says n is less than or equal to -5. That means I can put any number in here for n as long as it's equal to -5, or it could be less than -5. So that could be a -6, a -7, and so on to infinity. So since it's a less than or equal to symbol, I'm going to use a closed circle. So on my number line, above -5, I'm going to draw a closed circle, and then I'm going to shade to the left because those numbers are getting smaller. A little trick to help you remember which way to shade is to do this. You take a stick and you draw it in the middle of your inequality symbol, and that looks like the arrow is pointing to the left. So you shade to the left. Okay, let's do another one. X is less than 1. So since it's a less than symbol, I'm going to use an open circle. An open circle means that 1 cannot be one of my solutions. I cannot put 1 in for x because 1's not less than 1, but that's my starting point. It could be any number that's less than 1. So open circle, and I'm going to shade to the left because that shows me that I can put any number in there as long as it's less than or smaller than 1. What's the trick? Put a stick in the middle of your inequality symbol, and it looks like the arrow is pointing to the left. Shade to the left. Next one, n is greater than 5. Since it's a greater than symbol, that's an open circle. An open circle means 5 cannot be one of my solutions because 5's not greater than 5, but that's my starting point. So I can pick any number that's greater than 5, so I have to shade to the right. Let's do the little trick. Remember, put the line into the arrow. Looks like the arrow is pointing to the right, so I shade to the right. Number 4, k is less than or equal to -2. Since it could be equal to, that's a closed circle. So above the number -2, I put a closed circle. Which way do I shade? We'll put your stick right in the middle of your arrow. Looks like it's going to the left. Shade to the left because it can be any number smaller than -2. Now, when you're drawing your number lines, you don't have to draw every single number you see on there. As long as you put the number you start that they give you in the problem, and then you do your shading like this, you can just make a quick number line like that. That's fine with me. Okay, the next one, x is greater than or equal to 2. So, because it says or equal to, that's a closed circle. That means 2 could be one of my solutions or anything greater than that. So I shade to the right. Again, put your stick in the arrow. Looks like it's pointing to the right. There you go. Now, every problem that we've done, the variable has been on the left. But in this case, the variable's on the right. So we can't do that special trick. We have to put the variable on the left first if we want to do the special trick. So I'm going to take the letter V and I'm going to put it on the left-hand side. And I'm going to take the number 2 and I'm going to put it on the right-hand side. But since I switched these around, then I have to switch this symbol because look, the big mouth is pointing towards, the -2. So my big mouth has to continue to point towards my -2. So I have to switch the symbol around. Now I can graph that. If it's less than or equal to, remember closed circle. -2 can be one of my solutions, or it can be anything less than that. See, because I can put the stick in the arrow, it's pointing to the left. Okay, I want you to go ahead and stop the video. I want you to do these 5 practice problems in your notebook, and when you're done, continue the video. Okay, now we're going to learn how to write an inequality from a graph. So we already have a number line here that's shaded, and you can pick any variable that you want to. I'm just going to pick the letter X. You write your variable first, and then you see what number is a circle above. It's above the number -2, so I write -2. But what symbol am I going to put between those two? Well, this is really cool because look, all I have to do is trace over the arrow at the end, and what symbol does that look like? That looks like a less than sign. So I'm just going to copy exactly what I traced here up here. There's my inequality. X is less than -2. Okay, how about this graph? We have to write the inequality. Pick any variable. I'm just going to pick an X, put that on the left. Look at the number that the circle is above. It's above the -5. I'm going to write that right there on the right. Then I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to trace over the arrow. And when I trace over the end of the arrow, it looks like I just made a greater than symbol. There's my answer. That's the graph for X is greater than -5. How about this one? Okay, so pick any variable you want. Look to see what number the circle is above. It's above -2. Write that down on the right-hand side. Take your pencil, trace over the arrow at the end, and that tells you what symbol to put in the middle. X is greater than -2. Okay, how about this one? Same thing. Pick any variable. I'm just going to pick X. Look at the number the circle is above. It's above the number 1. Take your pencil, trace over the arrow. Looks like a less than symbol. But because my circle is shaded in, I have to remember to put the equal to symbol underneath. So that's X is less than or equal to 1. Okay, how about this one? You try that one. And then stop it, try it, and then continue and see if you were right. Okay, did you get this answer? X, and then the circle's above the 5. And then you traced with your pencil. It was a less than symbol. And then did you remember to put or equals to because the circle was closed in? Okay, try this one here. Stop and try it, and then check your answers. Okay, let's see what you got. Did you put X, and then the circle's above the 5? Did you trace the arrow with your pencil? And you had a greater than symbol, and because the circle was shaded in, did you put or equals to underneath? Good. Okay, try this one. Stop and try this one. Okay, here we go. X, and the circle is above -5. Take your pencil. Did you trace on the arrow? Looks like a greater than symbol. And then you put a line underneath it because it was shaded in. And the last one, try this one. Okay, let's see. Did you have X and then a 1? And then did you trace with your pencil? So that's a greater than. And did you put the equals to because it was shaded in? Good job. Okay, that's the end of the notes. I will see you on Tuesday. Have a great weekend.